Earthenware bowl is a traditional grinding pot which has existed in indigenous African communities for centuries. It is a manual blender which is normally used today in places where electricity is not available. The bowl, made from clay with ridges inside, has been part of the lives of Ghanaians for years. This is Oframase-Kwahu in the eastern region of Ghana, where the major work of women is moulding and selling of earthenware bowls. They do this without using any machine, which keeps the historical practice of crafting the bowl alive. How do the women in Oframase do this without using any machine? The clay is gotten from specific pieces of lands. Sometimes, miners have to dig deeper than 10 feet before they lay hands on the type of clay the artisans want. Most women who mold the clay into beautiful artifacts buy from miners. Others are also involved in mining the clay. The raw clay is made portable, basically in ball-like shapes for easy transportation to their individual homes, where the production is done. In order to remove the unwanted particles, the women knead the clay using their bare hands, which make it more malleable, ready for use. The artisans mix the clay with water and another powdered clay. The powder, locally called moulding, functions as a binder which increases the bond between fragmented particles and prevents drying shrinkage. During production, the women gradually mold the clay, spinning around an elevated square-like flat wood, aiming for a desired shape. After getting the shape they want, they put them into the sun for some hours to harden and prepare the artifacts for the second phase. During the second phase of the entire production, they mold the artifacts into the actual shape of the earthenware bowls. They put them into the sun again to get them harder and ready for the next stage. It can take a day, 2 days, or even more depending on the weather condition. The women smoothing both the inner and the outer part of the bowl with pebble. It is also a means of removing particles that are not wanted from the artifact. When this is done, they create lines with an old coin. The lines, when dry, serve as ridges in the bowls to support grinding. The women put the artifact back into the sun to prepare them for the firing stage, and this can last for days.
Na you na awo no akokwa okokwa wi a na waboja bepunu odijede bepunu ayo ano etuntum a na waboja wa ha na de eja ne bi agugu ase na wa hyehye wi hye wi a na wasuja kokko ne aguso.
Finally, it's time for the earthenware bowl to pass through fire. The bowls are arranged on firewoods, surrounded and covered with extra ones. They set fire from charcoal aside, and later spread them on the arranged earthenware bowls. The firing process is necessary to transform the bowls from their humble and fragile clay nature that will dissolve in water to a durable and hard ceramic material. This process takes some minutes depending on the intensity of the fire. How do the women know that the bowls are ready to be removed from fire? When the bowls are ready, they turn reddish in color. To make the artifact black, the women prepare a heap of sawdust, send the bowls to it and cover them with some more sawdust. During this stage, women from the community who are into the production of earthenware bowls assist in transferring them into the sawdust and arranging them. It is always obvious to sense rivalry among people who are into producing the same artifacts, but the case looks different in Oframase-Kwahu in the eastern region of Ghana. They thrive in helping each other, which is an act of love and unity among the women here. When the artisans realize they have overexposed the bowls and are not ready enough, they again cover them with fire to make them ready for the sawdust. When the bowls turn black, they are ready for sale. After the tedious processes the women go through into producing these artifacts, they sell each for 10 to 20 cedis, which is equivalent to $1 to $2. This is not a decent amount to earn. Some earthenware bowls that do not harden enough in the fire tend to break after everything. This is a loss for the artisans. The quality of the earthenware bowls depend on how the artisans mold the artifacts and how well they are transformed by heating.